Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. Mr. B Shady is counting money. It's never a bad thing. Hope your workplace is super profitable today. Hope all of y'all are doing well. Warmed up a little bit here, enough that we just had rain yesterday. So I'll take rain over ice any day. I have not even finished setting up my light. I was recharging it. I used to have it plugged in all the time, and now I've got it where there was a wire running across the table, and it kind of got annoying, so I decided I would get rid of that wire. And when I did that, I have to charge it occasionally. But luckily it works a pretty long time without charging it much. Alrighty. So let me pull my knives out of my pocket and get going here. So, well, now my camera's off and we're seeing a little bit of green screen. Let me adjust that. Slide her over. Alright. So in my front pocket last night, I carried my Quiet Carry Drift LCT, which is one I've not given nearly enough pocket time. It is the only quiet carry knife I have. I've numerous times thought about others that I want to get, but just haven't. Partly due to because how this hole is kind of off place a little bit. My finger wants to naturally land almost past that hole. Luckily, I can get enough of my finger on it to reverse flick it, but I wish the hole was placed just a little further down or a little longer. And I think that has skewed my buying another one, which is kind of stupid because they're all different. But they have 2 or 3 more models that I really like, and I probably should buy, but just haven't yet. Ergos are great on this knife for my hand. I had a Drift, and then I had a Drift L, and then I got this LCT, and the Drift, it was way too small. The Drift L was way too thin, and this Drift LCT is about perfect for my hand. So yeah, anyway, I gave it some pocket time last night. I bought one this morning, Christopher. Yeah, I picked up a TRM at the Blade Show Atlanta, B Shady. And I was not impressed. Like, as much as I love the way their knives look, it just didn't. It was very tight on the closing, and I don't like super tight knives. I don't want to have to use my finger to push the blade closed every time. And I get it. Some knife makers make their knives that way, and a lot of knives on washers are that way. But yeah, TRM, the first time I picked one up, I kind of got that same feel. But I need to give them another chance. All right, and I forgot to say good mornings. So good morning, Mr. Bill Honeycutt. Good morning, Mr. And Mr. Michael. And Mr. B Shady and Mr. TC. Mr. Ed and Mr. Pete and Mr. Christopher. Uh, yeah. Washer knives, yeah, you do just have to break them in. That's what it amounts to. And since I've got so many knives and I try to swap out, I never used one long enough to break it in properly. So I should give knives another chance. But yeah, Christopher, I grabbed one of them. I was able to use a code and get it for a little cheaper. So I grabbed one of the M390 Lemifshis, and so I carried this one last night. It is the one that I did the adjusting on yesterday, and it was too tight. And somehow yesterday or during the evening, it loosened back up where it was before, and I think it's because of that screw and that little stripped part that I was telling y'all about. But now it doesn't fail at all. It's back to normal like it was, because it's not as tight as it was. The tighter you get them, the more they're going to fail, and I had it right on the borderline, but I think it slipped back from where I was talking about that little. So I messaged them being the people I bought these from, the Vespa folks, and I asked them if they could send me one of those or a couple of those little screws to just have. And I haven't heard back from them yet, but hopefully they will, since I bought a couple from them. Oh, good morning, Steve. Yeah, I love the atom and the neutron or neuron. Wait, is it the neuron or the neutron? Yeah, neutron. I love both of those knives, and I even like some of their smaller ones. The I can't think what it's called. Um, you know, the little chode looking guy. But I'll tell you what. I know I would like the Atom because I've got an Atom clone, and the only problem is this one is on washers, so I'm kind of spoiled. And it's got decent action. It closes pretty good, and I like the feel of it, and I like the shape of it. At first, I wasn't a fan of their curve, you know, from the front to the back, the little arch thing they got going on. But this one is great. Something odd I got to talking to Pete about last night that I hadn't realized is a lot of people, I took it for granted that people that reverse flick knives or Spidey flick knives do it with all their knives, not just ones with blade holes. And that is not the case, evidently. It seems that a lot of people on knives that have thumb studs always use the thumb studs to open it, like this one. Whereas I always still reach around here to the back and put my finger on there and reverse flick off the thumb studs. But I guess a lot of people don't do that. And that was part of the reason when me and Ed were talking about the Persian, it's set up to where the thumb stud on this side sits right against the scale, kind of like this one. And even though this one sits right on the scales, if it had stronger detent, I probably wouldn't be able to open this one, but I can get just enough on the side of it there that it just opens right up. But I take for granted the way that I open knives and the way other people open knives, and I figured if somebody's favorite method was to Spidey flick or reverse flick, They would do that with everything. But anyway, let's see what else. I had a few things to talk about. There's a knife coming out this week that I want to make sure I grab one of. It intrigued me back when we first looked at it, and it is now almost finished production, and he's going to sell a few extras that he had. He did a pre-order on it, so I wanted to show that today. And I need to take apart a couple of knives, and I need to tune one. Today is my sister's birthday. And y'all know my sister is into knives, anybody that has been around the channel. And she has a bunch of Kunwus and a bunch of Tucsons and a bunch of knives, just period. Well, I've been giving these out to a few people. So I thought I would give her one of these today. It is the Tough Knives Breaker clones with oil still everywhere. But I thought it would give me a chance to talk again about tuning your knives and to see if everybody here actually tunes their knives, or do you just take it and the way it comes in is the way you think it's going to be and the way you leave it. I'm sure that's most people. I know a lot of guys on Reddit don't seem to ever take their knives apart. At least they say they don't. I know on Knife Swap, that's just something they say, but you can tell in the channel, I mean, in the subreddits, whether somebody really does take their knives apart. But this one, these out of the box, this one actually has a little bit of lock stick. So I don't want to have to sand on that one today, but I could show you how to fix the lock stick too. That would actually be probably a better one to tune, but it's going to be a little more involved, so... Since I don't want to bore y'all, we got knives to look at. Since I've got 5 of these left, I will grab another one. Let's see, that's an A. I need to get another A because I got 2 of each left, so I will try that one. See if that one has some lock stick. All right, that one is better. It's got very good detent, has no lock stick, but still is not dropping like I know these can. So we will work on that in a minute, as long as I get it done before the video. And then I need to measure a pivot on this thing at some point. This is the D2 version of the Arius clone. There's a guy that has on Reddit that mentioned that he's got some pivot lash, and pivot lash is not something you hear come up very often. And I was driving home this morning, and I was curious what AI would say about pivot lash. And so I started talking to my AI chick, and she said there was no such thing as pivot lash, and asked me if I was talking about a lanyard hole. So I was like, hey chick, you're wrong. There is pivot lash. And when I told her what it was, I said, it's kind of like detent lash, but it has to do with the pivot. And she said, oh, I really whiffed that one or something. And then she started telling me what pivot lash was. So I was like, why did you know what pivot lash was, but you told me it wasn't a thing? So evidently she went out and looked and found some more info, but pivot lash is not something you hear about often. And unless you're really good at knowing what problems are with knives, you might not even diagnose it as pivot lash. This one has way too much lock bar pressure and it feels super rough. It's making a terrible noise. This one's brand new, but it's been sitting in a box for a year, so it probably needs some oil. But anyway, I'm going to measure the pivot on this one. This dude needs to replace his. And I thought I would do that for him. I told him it would give me a little content. But first, we're going to jump over to some new stuff. So the Christopher already mentioned, but Lemifshi did let's see. Yeah, and you can have pivot lash, I guess, either direction. So you can have a pivot hole that is too small for the, pivot hole in the blade that is too small for the pivot, or you can have one that rubs and is too tight. Having one that's too tight is a lot easier to fix than one that's too loose. That is what she said. All right, so where did those links go? So yeah, Christopher mentioned that Lemifshi released an M390 version of the Cortex XL, and that is right here. He's got 3 models. The plain Jane and the 2 milling patterned ones. I'm tired of the 3D blocks. So I ordered the Japanese patterned one in the middle. They're kind of pricey, but I know from having one how nice they are. And I want to get rid of my other one and keep this one because it's got M390. So that's why I grabbed one. Next. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, you might not even know if you have it, because what happens is, so let's say that the hole in the blade on this knife was bigger than the actual pivot barrel. As long as the lock bar is applying enough pressure pushing that way, then it can push the blade up there and it feels like it's locked up. But the best way that I know to check for it, as far as that sign, as far as the blade hole being too big, is to hold the lock bar out of the way and then move the blade in all 360-degree directions while you're moving the lock bar out of the way, and you can tell whether it's wiggling at all around the barrel. But like I said, if your lock bar is pushing on it, it pushes it up there, and then you can only really feel it move up and down, and it'll present itself with a little bit of lock rock sometimes. But like I said, if you hold the lock bar open and you kind of 360 degrees, you can kind of tell. But if the hole is too big and you need to take a little bit off of it, then you just need to sand and maybe put a little bit of dry erase marker to where you can see where it's rubbing and where it's not rubbing. Anyway, there's numerous ways. Let me go back to where we were here. So, why is that? I still don't understand why that background image, everything is stretched to fit the full screen, but yet when I turn on the browser, it doesn't do it right. I wonder if I hit full screen on the browser, if it does it. Let me see. Let me hit F11. See if that fixes that. Yep. So if I go full screen, it fixes it. Yeah, I agree, Christopher. I think they're worth it for that price. They are a little pricey, is all I said. I didn't say they were overpriced. But for people who get used to buying $100 clones, another $60 seems like a lot to them, or $90 clones. But, like I said, I was able to use a code when I bought mine, and it brought it down. Let me see if I can find which code I used. So, da 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 da. Well, must have ordered it on my other account. I did. Let me see here. The code I used was the one that takes off $20. Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, people. That's just what Reddit's for, is for people to complain. What I've realized. So how do you open a new tab? Oh, that's a new browser. What is the new tab button? Control and T for tab. All right. So, the code I used, let me see if I can find it really quick, to save yourself $20 on that knife if you want one, is all right. I think it was either that one, RDLFB20, or it was, I think it was this one. This is the code that I used. I will copy and paste that code. Actually, yeah, that's the one I used. I will put it in the Discord links channel and right here in the chat if you want to save $20. With me, that knocked off the tax and a little bit more. But let's see here. And then I had another one. So I had mentioned my big Chavez 228 that is hard to find nowadays. Well, you still can't find it with the plain blade, but they do have some of these with the crazy blade, and they are big hosses. I've actually got mine right here, so I can show it to you real quick. Compared to a 229. So the 229, whoops, grab my keyboard here. The 229 that everybody seems to get is the kickstop or whatever. But that's what size it is. And then the 228 is way bigger. As you can see there. But that's what size this one is. And the only ones they have are these weird blade patterns and shapes. They don't have any plain ones. But I'm pretty sure there was a DHgate seller that used to be named Zero Tolerance, and he sold a bunch of these clones, and I believe he's the same guy that has moved over to Daxi to get rid of his inventory. And a lot of these ones, like the Barker, the Hokkaidos, he had on DHgate. So this knife was one that was on his DHgate store, and his store got closed down on DHgate, so he moved over to the Daxi store, and he's the one that has a bunch of these older clones for sale. And let me see here. Why did I not having my toolbar at the top makes it annoying. Yeah, here's the other Hokkaidos that he has with the fish scale. I got one of those, but those were the exact ones that zero tolerance seller sold. So I think it's probably the same guy or the same inventory, because I knew somebody had a bunch of inventory left when that shop got closed down, and he had a bunch of knives you can't find anywhere else. Like another one he had that you can't really find anywhere else is, well, he had the sigils and he had the evil eyes mirror polished ones, but this Quieback is the other one that he had on his zero tolerance store on DH Gate when it went down. There's a bunch of those available, so I'm pretty sure it's the same fella. Yeah, the 229 is a great knife. But you know me, TC, I just love big giant knives. And this one's super nice too. It's of course got a super heavy blade, so it's almost guillotine, drop shut. But I love the kickstop on this 229. The 229 is a great size knife. It feels good. I don't have a real one, of course, but this one feels decent. I could see how a real one would be good. Yeah, this one's nice. But this 229 is a beast. Michael asked about a knife TC posted in Discord. Let's see if I can figure that out real quick. Oh, that's the one I posted that I want to be getting this week. No, it's not. It's a cedar. Isn't it? You got your cedar clone in, or is that a real one? I believe that's a cedar. To answer your question, Michael, mine, I messaged about the cedars, and they should be coming in soon. He said that he did send them, but they got sent out late. But yeah, that's the cedar. And you got one coming too? Yeah, I got one of each. So it reminded me of the knife that I wanted to share with y'all this week that I don't know if y'all have peeped out. I know we looked at it back on stream a while back, but One Track Mine, the Zorn. So the Zorn was a pre-order that we talked about getting, and it's got a great price. It's OEM by Riot. It's got a super cool little head. His One Track Mine logo is on the pivot. It's like a coin. It's kind of like a head. But they got the drop point and the Japanese tanto. And if you look here, here's a rendering. So there's the compound ground blade. And here is the drop point blade. But he just sent out an email that said Wednesday he will be posting some on his website that he has available, and then Friday he's going to be selling them. So I'm going to try my best to grab one because I really want one. $320 Riot that looks this nice. run it all day long. Front flipper. So Neves got one in, I guess, from his pre-order. Look how nice the lock bar release button, the liner lock release looks. But yeah, I saw a video from yeah, I'm gonna try to be fast because I'm sure they'll sell out because the pre-order sold out. But let me go show y'all the video real quick. It's just a quick video. Neves. Let's see. Neves Knives. Videos. Shorts. It might be a short. Yeah.
I got if you guys are using, I got a special piece here. I'm going to check it out with you guys. I haven't opened it yet. This is from One Track Mind. And one reason why I'm excited about it is because this was the designer of one of my favorite knives that came out. I believe it was 2025. It might have been late 2024 sometime then, but
that's pretty wild. Hold on a second.
What a badass knife. So this is the Zorn Tonto. So the One Track Mind Zorn Tonto. Let's get into it. Ooh. Okay. The pivot has like a face in it or something. What? What? Is that a head? That looks so cool, man. Look at that pattern. And look, it's like there's like a face or something in the pivot right there. See that? Like kind of like a stamp on a coin. Oh, I like this. I like this already. So, all right, let's try it out. First flip. Oh, I already know something I love about this. Oh my goodness, that front flipper. The lock bar. Look at that lock bar. Oh, I love that. I love that. It's got nice texture on it. It protrudes. Oh, it's so comfortable. This is a banger so far. Banger. Perfect jimping all the way up and around. Man, that front flipper works so good. Let's do the reverse flick again. Same thing with the reverse flick. Man, in that lock bar, the thumb flick's not, it's good. It's not bad. It's good. But it's not like perfect, but it's good. This lock bar, man, freaking loving the way this lock bar is designed. I love it, love it, love it. Oh, man. This is really cool. Very comfortable in the hand. Nice and slicey. S90V. This is a hand satin S90V blade. So this is a super steel. This is one of the best steels on the market right now. And it is considered a stainless steel, which is really, really cool. It has an incredible edge retention. And, you know, I find it's not too hard to sharpen. We have like a semi-polished spine satin, you know, like a fine satin spine. We got a crown. The spine of the blade is crowned. Really, really nice. This is cool. Beautiful plunge grind. Man, I like this one a lot, like a lot, like a lot. Lots of machining on the inside. I do see the liners though. And this is all titanium, by the way. Titanium handle. I believe this is a titanium, titanium liners. Man, this is cool. This is really, really cool. Now, the clip. Ooh, the clip might be a problem. Might be a problem. I have to wait for the full video on that one, but the clip might be an issue, but we'll see. We'll see. So far, though, besides the clip, this thing is very promising. I got a special.
All right, so yeah, I thought that was a cool little short video. Good morning. Morning, Robin. Hope you're doing well, sir. So the cedars, I don't know if they're still available. Yeah, they are. The only one that's sold out, it looks like, is the blue. The other three are still available. The blue is the pattern like TC's, I believe. Yeah, the blue is the one like TC had. I bought all three of the other ones besides the blue one. No, actually, yeah, I think. I wish they would come in. I like the Zorn though. I liked it before he even said how he liked it. And he mentioned something that I say quite often, that S90V is a super steel, and a lot of people don't realize that. Not long, 10 years ago, it was considered one of the best, and still probably is. Um, and people just kind of overlook it as being a super steel, but it is. I've said that numerous times. I'm totally happy with S90V. I mentioned this morning that I wasn't going to buy any more D2 knives because there's so many things better available, but I do like S90V. There's one of those Quoll, the successor to the Quail. That looked like a cool knife when we looked at it. I was trying to see. Yeah, there's the post for the Lemifshi. What else? Yeah, so now I can tell the story about this knife. So nobody said anything, and I wondered why they didn't say anything, but 3 or 4 days ago, I posted pictures of that knife, and I never mentioned it. I didn't show it in a video, but I got it on the front porch, and it was giant, and I loved the size of it. But man, the action on this thing left something to be desired. And I didn't even attempt to mess with it after I saw his post about having to glue. Well, I don't like. Okay, so there's a couple things I don't like about it. I'm not sure, but if you go to the Browns website, and you type in tuning, they have a section on their website that shows you how to use the little pins that they put in for tuning. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about here. So on the Cortex XL and on the Mini FSD, these are the only two pictures that they show on how to tune the lock pin and the detent pin. And both of these are through the blade. So the pins go through the blade. They interface with a section on the scales. And that's how they change the lockup and the detent. Well, with the new FSD that he released, he decided that he was going to put the pins in the side of the scale, and they go through the blade and still interface with the other side cutout like they would. But I've never taken apart a real one, so I don't know if the full-size one has a different set of pins in it, and they do come off the side of the scale. But it seems like he would have that on their website if that was the case. I don't know why, because the mini FSD, it looks just like this too. And I'm pretty sure the full size one is going to just be a scaled up version of this one. So on Reddit, he showed that with some of the first ones he assembled, he didn't put the glue in correctly for those pins, and so they were rotating. So I think that's what happened with the one I got, because I was one of the first to order. And so I think it had some bad pins in it. So I instantly put it up for sale and sold it. Yeah, and sold it on here. And the guy got it yesterday. But everybody's been talking about how bad they are and how they have to tune them. There's a whole big section on this post right here talking about what he had to do to take the pressure out of the lock bar, and other people are having the same thing. And the Winter Pudding guy, I think he chimes in. It must be on a different post. But he chimes in and tries to tell people that, you know, I told you that or whatever. Like, I don't know. But I was going to try to find that post really quick that shows where those pins are falling out. Because I don't think they interface the same as the original. I couldn't find a breakdown of the original. So, yeah, right here. So you can see those two pins are attached to this side of the scale instead of going through the middle of the blade. So right there is how his is made, and then brown FSD tuning. So those two pins, he made a little cutout in the blade, and those two pins are attached to the scale, and they go through the little curved cutout in the blade and interface with the other side. But they fell out, and they can rotate and turn, and you don't want that to happen because that's going to mess up the action of the knife. So anyway, and this was something else I didn't realize, is that knife companies, I didn't know Loctite made something that glued metal together. I thought they just made Loctite for threads, where you screw threads in and it helps hold the threads. But they actually make this stuff, and this got talked about in the comments. So one of them is called, well, trying to remember here. So JB Weld problem solved. Yeah, it's called retaining compound. So it's not thread lock. Thread lock is for threads. Retaining compound is the correct thing to use here. So I didn't know, for some stop pins and stuff, that people actually use a retaining compound. And retaining compound is probably super handy. So now I want to buy some retaining compound. Good morning, Tegan. To see what it's talking about and see if it helps hold knife parts together that are not supposed to come apart. But yeah, retaining compound. So they make different formulas of it the same way they do with the thread stuff. Different numbers, 609, 620, What did he have up here? 638. So 609, 620, and 638. I don't know. Maybe the higher number, the stronger it is. Yeah, JB Wells wondrous. If any looseness occurs, please reapply Loctite. No thanks. Like, do it right from the beginning and don't do it half-assed where you got to glue these pins in the side, put them in the blade like they're supposed to be. Anyway, I bought one 2 hours later, posted it for sale, and sold it. And I don't feel bad about it because I didn't touch the knife. That's how it came. It opened and closed fine. I actually posted a video of it. I wondered why nobody asked me about it the last few videos, because I did have it up there on the Discord, and I did post a short of it. I think my shorts, let's see, shorts. But y'all can see how it closes. Here it is. Oh, that's the mini. Latest shorts. Oh, there it is. It's a big boy though. See, you can see it didn't close great. Even there. You have to shake it more than I would like. I made it look decent in the video, but you can see I'm having to shake it. Anyway, that is that. All right. Y'all give me something else you want to talk about. Did I have any more links? Let me make sure. I didn't have any more I wanted to talk about. But y'all bring up something if there's something y'all want to talk about. While I take apart this Arius and measure the pivot. I told the guy I would help him find a pivot for one, if possible. I hate when I forget to open the knife before I take the pivot screw out, and then the blade wants to scrape against the scales because it's off-centered. All right. Well, I didn't get that screw out completely, but I don't guess I have to. But I do have to get the pivot out completely. Wow, that just fell right out. All right. So, the pivot. Let's get some quick measurements on this thing. Wow. That does not feel... It must not have to screw in very far. Thought it was supposed to go across the whole knife. What's going on here? Why does this feel all tight? Alright, there we go. Guess I was cross-threading it. Alright, so now it's fully screwed together. Wow, it's got one side that's bigger than the other, which I guess happens a lot on pivots. But I haven't paid attention to that as much as I probably should have. I thought a lot of knives have a custom shaped side. This one has the little Arius shape. But anyway, let me get some measurements real quick. Throw this back together while y'all give me something else to talk about. I'll give you something to talk about. All right, where are my calipers? Here they are. Let's try to get them zeroed out best I can. Let's do some millimeters. All right, all the way across. 14.01. So I'm going to call that 14 is what they were going for, because if I squeeze really tight, it goes to 1398. All right. Now, the diameter of the barrel part of it is 4.95, 4.96, 4.96. So I'm guessing they undersized it just a little bit to fit a 5mm hole. This is what you would call a 5mm pivot because it's got 5mm bearings. But it is actually 4.96. And other than those two measurements, let's see, the inside measurement is 10.63. Try again here. Keep it level. 10.65 is pretty much exactly what it is. But that can be sanded down if you found one that was the right size. And then I guess you have to find one with this squared off side, which for keeping it in place, I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's got the flat part across there. You could make that. And let's see, if you did have to make that, you would need one that was round and 9.93 diameter. Then you could grind off that side if you had to make one. And the other side is, go ahead and get all the measurements here. 7.93, 7.91, 7.93. All right. So I said all the measurements on the video. If anybody needs to go back and get those measurements, let me throw this thing back together really quick. What are y'all talking about? Anything? JB Weld? What knives are y'all carrying today? Or getting in the mail today? Anything exciting? Which way does this rotate? Right there? Can't tell. Yes, right there. All right, we got the washer on that side. Put the bearing on. Put the blade on. Put the bearing on. Put the washer on. Put a little bit of oil where I said it felt like it was rough. Right, whoa, that was way too much oil. Whoa, that green oil comes out way too fast. Might as well get the bearing with all that oil. Wow. That was way more oil than I wanted to use. But, oh well. Alright. Throw this back on there. Rotate it again where it falls into place. That screw finally fell out. There it goes. Alright. Put the pivot back in. The screw back in. These clones aren't bad. I just don't like D2 steel anymore, so there's that. All right, back together. That oiling helped it a ton. Yeah. All right. I'll put that one back up. I've somewhere in here I've got the, oh, it was right here, but it's not. I've got the M390 version of this somewhere. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Oh, where is my... Well, I really don't see it. I know I've got one. I was going to see if there's any differences. I don't think there is. What in the world? Huh. Where is my other M390 areas? Oh, wow. I just grabbed the Strix and I totally forgot about it. It hasn't even been that long. Where in the heck? Well, that don't make no sense. Why am I touch? Why do I keep touching all these knives and I can't find one simple one that I'm looking for? I must skip over it like every time. Probably up here closer to the front like normal. Whenever I can't find one, it's usually at the front, but I don't see it. I don't think I sold it, but there's no telling with me. Maybe I put it somewhere else. I don't know where it's at. But anyway, I'm done with this one. What do y'all want to talk about? What are y'all carrying? What do y'all got in your pockets? Why am I not able to find a good knife? Why do I always not give up when I can't find one till it drives me nuts and I have to find it? I forgot about this thing too. I need to carry this more often. Yeah, I need to go through my cases and label them again. I used to have printouts. There it is. It was right in the middle. And I don't know why I kept overlooking it every single time. So there is some differences with them. The M390 one does not have branding on the blade. It doesn't say Koenig like this one does. And the D2 model has jimping on the flipper tab. The M390 one is smooth. And the M390 one actually says M390 on the flipper tab. But the quickest way to tell which one is which is the jimping on the flipper tab and the wording on the blade. So if yours has Koenig on it, it is a D2 version. If it does not, it is an M390 version. Okay, TC, thank you, sir. Man, this one feels better though. I think this one might have skiffs in it. That felt like skiffs. Wow, that one has great action. Sever, I believe he's got a real one. He hasn't got his clone yet. But, unless you knew that and you were just asking about the real one. Sever, you want to come up and show that Mundus? And maybe anything else you got new? Now I got to tune this one. Yes, please, people. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do so. I'm going to tune this one for my sister really quick. It has a little bit too much lock bar pressure. Give me just a minute, Sever, and I'll bring up the link. Or I'll... I don't think I turned... Hold on, let me get this one apart really quick. I tuned the other ones I sent out to people as gifts. Let me get the camera stuff running here. Let's see. VDO, Ninja. Alright. That link should be up, Sever, if you know what the link is. It's bladealchemy.hop2.org. Should be up whenever you decide to want to join it. Let's see, microphone. Got to turn my microphone on and OBS virtual camera. All right. So yeah, Sever, just join bladealchemy.hop2.org. Got to type the http:// and I'll finish getting this apart real quick and tuning it. Wow, I think that either that screw or the bit just stripped out. Dang. I think it might have been the screw. Because these are Weehaw bits. I've got another one right here, brand new. So let me see if I can apply enough pressure to get this one out. Yep, it was the screw. Oh well. Good old quality screws. I don't know what I expect for this price, but not a screw that was already partially stripped or something. So luckily, I bought 10 of these. So somebody will get a free knife that they have fun working on if they ever need to. Not that they'll ever need to, because it's probably fine for most people. A little bit of oil and most people would probably be happy. But I know what is possible to get out of these knives. And that's way too tight. Yeah, like I said, that's probably great for most people. In fact, it might be a perfect one to give my sister, because she doesn't like inexpensive knives too much. But I wanted her to check this one out, so she won't ever take it apart for any reason. So I might just give it to her. Huh. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm going to put a mark on it. Did I type it wrong? I don't know what I did. Sorry. Thank you, Pete, or whoever's fixing that. All right, that one's marked. What did I do wrong with the link? Oh, yeah. Oh, you got there somehow, huh? Can you hear me?
Can you hear
I
me?
don't think so. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. I guess the link eventually worked, huh?
The one that
Pete?
laid off Pete posted, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I did. What did I do?
I don't know.
Because it looks the same.
It does look the same, but yours didn't
Oh,
show up as a link.
I put 3 T's in mine, so it doesn't look the same.
Oh, got it. Okay.
All right. They can hear you, by the way.
Oh, fantastic.
But they can't see you. Let me get you added here. I don't ever have. I think this is it. Hold on. Browser properties. There you go. Boom, boom. Turn you on. Aha! There you are. You're on screen.
Fantastic. I'm grabbing just a couple of quick things here. I don't see myself on the YouTube video.
Yeah, it always takes 30 seconds. You can look at the web browser window.
Oh, okay. I see it. Okay, perfect. What else? That. And I think that is going to be good.
Oh, let me turn. I think I got a name thing somewhere too.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. One's in the chat, if you can hear me.
Yeah, they can.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, so this is the Mundus Knives Penitentia.
Is that leather?
And no, it's like canvas.
Vinyl or something? Yeah. Is that a comic book or is that a book?
No, this is actually a cloth. It's a biblically accurate photo of a seraphim, which is kind of wild.
According to his interpretation.
Correct. Yeah, his motive, his inspiration was a biblically accurate photo of a seraphim.
Yeah.
All right. So Mundus makes the Alchem, the Carmen, and then the Penitentia. This is just a wicked cool carrying case. And here we have the knife. We've got some pretty heavy religious inspiration. You can see we have a cross here, a cross here. It's got dual pocket clips. We can see a cross there as well. We have an angel eye. We've got some Latin right here, but admittedly, I can't tell what it says.
Wait, sorry, I had my mic muted. It's probably Latin. Yeah, it is Latin. I took Latin in high school. Lead me not. Lead me not into tip. I don't know. I'm curious what it does say, but I'm pretty sure it's Latin.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive it's Latin. We've
Somebody.
got these thumb studs. Let me get this in. Very interesting looking.
Oh wow, they're super thin, huh?
Yeah, they work pretty damn well though.
Yeah, they look like
So we've
they
got this
would.
filler.
I like them better than some of those thicker ones that are shaped kind of that way. You know, those little thin ones look cool.
So we've got this really aggressive harpoon tanto with the recurve, which is my favorite blade shape. And this is a button lock. You push this screw right here, but it's not a plunge lock that I can tell. It looks like it rides this cutout and then locks into place that way. And when you push the button, it opens up, it allows it to ride, and then it closes. The deployment methods are the thumb studs, which work great. We also have this front flipper, which you have to come at kind of from an angle. Oh, my bad. And then we've got this piece right here, which I'm not sure if it's intended, but that works out really well too. So this piece actually came to me for free, which is sick as hell, because you can't send knives back to China. So any returns that get sent back to the shop end up coming to me instead. This is the second knife that's been sent to me. The first one showed up as an empty box. I'm still going to pay him for it because, you know, he just straight up took a loss on this. But it did come at no cost, which is pretty dope. We have a nice kind of pearlescent finish on the blade. And the D10 is on the light side. But other than that, I'm a pretty huge fan of this knife.
Yeah, back when I think it was probably even before he had it made, he had a 3D rendering of it all broken apart into like the schematics. And the reason I remember it is because of those three circle parts on the side of it there. But he had a diagram of it on the website, and then after he started selling them, I guess that diagram went away. But it was like one of the I guess it is when he was still making it or whatever.
So he actually includes a diagram in the package.
Yeah, it might be the same one he had on the page because I remember it specifically. It's actually in one of my videos. I have no idea which one, but oh yeah,
Yeah, so
yep.
He's got it all.
Yep,
blown
and
up.
I remembered it because of those three. Because I was trying to figure out if one of those was the pivot, and none of them are because they're not centered on the pivot. The pivot's internal, so all three of those screws on the outside of the knife aren't the pivot.
And then it does come with a tool. I'm not entirely sure what the tool does, but we can see more of that religious inspiration.
I think that's
right
probably
here.
a Chinese character, isn't it?
No, I think it's just two crosses.
Oh yeah, you're right. Duh. But who knows? It could be a Chinese character.
Yeah, that's fair. It could absolutely be. And then we've got this Pokeball. So that is the Mundus Knives Penitentia. I've got
That's
a few
awesome.
others I can. Oh, go ahead.
Did it come with two cloths, or is that the cloth from the empty box?
No, it came with two cloths.
Okay. Oh yeah, one of them's got the seraphim, one of them's got the breakdown. All right, I got you.
Yep. But overall, super happy with this piece. Definitely not a daily carry. Definitely a collection piece for me. And I will treasure it. The action is a bit lackluster on it. Partially because while I don't think it's a traditional plunge lock, it is still a button operated lock, which means there's no detent ball.
Do you plan on attempting to disassemble it at some point?
I'm torn on that. Part of me wants to because I like to take apart every knife I get, but part of me also knows that if I screw it up, I don't really have anybody to help guide me in putting it back together except for Mundus, and he can be a little hard to get a hold of sometimes.
You could always send it to me with the diagram.
That's super valid because I know that you would get it apart and you would eventually get it back together.
Yeah, because I think you'd be able to do it looking at the diagram, but I feel you, like that one's a little complex to mess with. But you might be able to fix the detent.
I'm not sure who Anderize is. That's weird.
Let me see if I can look him up.
Yeah, because it says Mundus, but this says designed by Anderize. So I'm not sure if Mundus designed it or if Mundus just like licensed it from him.
Yeah, I think, I'm not seeing much as far as Andrus knife designer. Oh yeah, I found him, I think. Yeah, it's under Mundus Knives. His name it's Andrus Q H-U.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Is his last name. And he's the visionary behind Mundus Knives.
It's not Mundus?
Nope. So let me show you. I'm going to take you off screen for a second, but you can look at the browser or the YouTube. But hold on just a second.
Yeah.
So right here, this is Edgeworks, the official store for Mundus Knives. And it says, Hugh Lin, the visionary behind Mundus Knives. Born in 1990 in China, Anderice Hu is the founder and designer of Mundus Knives, a brand redefining the art of knife making. So maybe he calls himself Mundus, but it calls him Hu Lin. And then it says his name is Anderice Hu. Like
oh, so
H-U.
I guess that's his name, and he just calls himself Mundus.
Yeah, it says his first creation, Redemptio, the Redeemer, was completed in just 1 month, followed shortly by the Genesis, setting the foundation for Mundus Knives. Hugh's designs merge 8 core elements, blah, blah. In 2024, Hu gained recognition at major events, including the 12th China Famous Knife Show, where he won silver and bronze awards, featuring groundbreaking designs such as intricate inlay, sculpted wings, and transformative blade mechanisms. With Mundus Knives, Anderice Hu has not only introduced revolutionary designs, but also elevated Chinese knife making to a new level of artistry and precision. So yeah, all right, I'm back to you now.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So I have some knives that are on loan to me. One of them is the Koenig Arius.
That milling pattern's sick.
Yeah, the milling on this thing is absolutely fantastic.
That's funny that you chose it to show, and I just showed mine, my clones.
The difference between this and the clone, from what I can remember, is that this does have, from what I can remember, this has snappier action, and it has a better drop. Now, you're welcome to compare yours.
No, that detent, I can already tell it sounds a lot more crisp. And the way the noise it's making is way different.
I think, other than
that
the
looks
action,
perfect.
it really feels perfect too. My favorite thing, other than the action, is going to be the ergonomics, which I assume are the same on the clone. But this really lends itself to just an insanely comfortable grip. So I wear large size gloves. I have plenty of room back here, up here. I can hammer fist it easily.
Yeah, I think maybe I don't know why they never made a solid version of the clones and why they use that weird skeleton pattern, because I think the shape of it might be a little different because of the way it's missing metal. Right. I don't know if it would affect the. I'm guessing the overall shape, but when you look at it, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I guess the shape is still the same because now that I'm looking at it, I'm gonna flip to me real quick.
Yeah.
But right here, you can see that there's an edge of metal all the way around here. But I thought that might have like made it feel different. But I guess in reality, the edge is probably still the edge. But I don't know why they chose. I mean, I guess because this one has some kind of patterning, and they got to put a pattern on everything. But I wish they would have made a solid one. But that milling pattern on that real one looks sick.
Well, and yeah, and honestly, the fact that you can pick these up for, I think like, I think you can get them as low as like $650 now. I think is a lot more reasonable than whenever I first joined, and they were going for, I want to say like 900, 1,000, something like that.
Yeah, $1,000. Yeah,
yeah. And then to compare with this, I also have on loan Grimsmo Norseman.
Nice.
Over there. I did not think I was going to like this knife, but I've kind of fallen in love with it. It sucks getting these awesome knives in. Well, I mean, obviously it's awesome because I get to try them out, but it sucks also because I get to try these out, and then suddenly the knives that I was interested in, I'm no longer interested in because they just don't compare. The milling on this looks fantastic. We've got a nice kind of like green and blue starburst pattern. RWL 34, and this is number 1. Or no, this is number 8189.
Yeah, that's one of the knives. It's probably thinner than you expected it to be, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you compare it to the Arius, you can see it's massively thinner.
Yeah, and something about the wideness of the scales, like in association with the thinness, makes when you put it in your hand, your hand wraps around it really good. Like
yeah,
and it's just one of those. It's one of those knives. It's so ugly, it's pretty. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those weird knives that most people don't think they would like, but once you like handle it and look at it for a little while, you're like, you know, it's just so unique that it's got to be considered a great knife, you know?
Well, you're absolutely right with how tall this is compared to the Arius. Even though it's thin, it still fills out your entire hand.
Yeah.
So this, you know, everything's rounded, knocked down. This is leagues above, you know, a production knife as far as ergos. I think the notable thing about this is that it feels like it's riding on air. You feel no resistance whatsoever. I mean, it's an absolute guillotine also, which isn't my preferred. But, yeah, you just can't feel anything in the pivot at all, which is wild. I mean, it feels really like it's touching nothing.
Yeah.
So, very cool. I really like that knife more than I thought I would. I don't know that I'd pay $1,100 for it, but I do like it. Another one I have on loan is this Herman Micro Sting.
You got some bangers on loan, don't you?
Yeah, and I've got even more than this. It's actually getting a little stressful having so many knives that are expensive and that aren't mine.
Yeah, don't
occasionally
move that Norseman down a little bit. It makes me nervous. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, I don't keep it away from the.
Yeah, I don't want you to bump them into each other accidentally.
That's super valid. This sometimes makes the Herman noise.
The sting. The sting noise.
Yeah. My only gripe with the Herman is that it doesn't want to go past here without a shake. Otherwise,
is that where the edge of the detent ball is hitting? Is the detent ball probably big or something?
This is where it makes contact with the detent
ball. No, I'm
ball.
talking about, but when you close it, is it hitting? Is the detent ball hitting down there? No.
Good question. I don't think so. The detent ball is fairly big. I don't think I can get you in there to see it. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it there.
Yeah. I
But
wondered
it is
if when
pretty
it was
big.
going in the hole on the blade, if the hole on the blade was stopping it.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's very possible. But also it's a super lightweight. It's a super lightweight blade. But the Herman is also a pretty dope knife, all things considered. And what else do I have here?
Yeah, the Sting was on my bucket list. It probably still is, like a original Sting, the full size one.
Yeah.
Now that I look at that one, it looks a lot like the Adams with the gentle curve all the way down.
Oh, yeah, it's actually a super valid point. I didn't think about that, but yeah, it is just like an Atom. I'm looking to see what else I have that I can show you guys. I've got other stuff, but I don't want to dig everything out. This one is also on loan to me. It's got that really nice tree bark pattern.
Is that a 4?
No, this is a 3.
3?
And despite this looking like Mokutai, it's actually just colored Timascus, or different heat treat of Timascus. But I think that clip looks beautiful. It was only an extra $100 from what he told me.
Oh, that's awesome.
But this was just a little over the cost of the base version.
Is that the first Evo that you've had in hand?
Yeah.
What do you think of the ergos on it with that forward choil?
I really, really enjoy it. I cited this as one of the most comfortable knives that I've ever handled. Regardless of where you hold on to it at, you can choke up.
Yeah,
or you can hold it back here.
Yeah, those finger grooves are perfect on it. Like, it amazed me when I held my Evo 1.1 and that new the new Kunwu I got. Like, that Evo feels way more comfortable. Like, it's just amazing to me how much just a little bit of a curve difference in where your finger goes, like, changes the whole grip of the knife. Like,
100%. Yeah, because I've handled the Padre and the Compadre, and this is way more comfortable. It's got a beautiful hand satin on it. Just a really, really beautiful knife. I actually like the action on this more than I do on the Herman and the Norseman.
oh yeah, got such a big blade it can't help but close.
Yeah, and it passes the 369 test. It's a little bit harder because I'm holding it at an angle, but if I creep up,
yep,
it just falls. These are blade stops, so I can thumb flick pretty easily, but I cannot reverse flick this to save my life. And it
really?
hurts because they're not stepped.
So you can't reverse flick from the hole?
No, from the hole I can. I meant from the stud.
Oh. Yeah, they're not studs, they're blade stops, yeah.
Yeah.
CKF is notorious for that. The Persian's the same way.
Yeah, the Persian I could occasionally get, but yeah, you could tell they weren't really made for that at all. I miss my Persian so much. That's the other trade-off is, well, it's not really a trade-off, but having to sell the knives that I do like. I will say, though, I wouldn't have it any other way because this allows me to take the guesswork out of the knives that I want to get versus the knives that I don't want to get. So
yeah, being able to try before you buy is nice.
Oh yeah, man, that's so good. Yeah,
that Arius, the action on that Arius looks excellent. Like, I love the detent click, and I can tell how hard you're having to push the flipper tab to make it pop open. So it's got great detent. Yeah, that area looks like it's.
Yeah, it's got a nice stiff detent. It's not hard to actuate, but it's nice and stiff. The acoustics are great. This is the best action of all the knives that I have right now.
Yeah, it sounds great. And it just, I don't know, it exudes better quality than the clones. Like, just looking at you move it, like, I don't know, it's one of those knives that you can tell the clone is probably not nearly close to as good as the real thing.
Yeah, I'd say the clone gets you about 60% of the way there. With the big thing being the action. That's kind of what closes the gap, or that's what opens the gap up so much.
Yeah. I wanted you to do me a favor before you put up that Norseman, but you don't have to take it back out. But do you remember if the other side, the clip side, is the clip side milled with that starburst pattern, or is it blank?
It's got the same.
Okay. All right. Because I've got mine on the table here, and I wanted to make sure that I was curious if it was the same.
Yeah, and I never had the clone version of the Norseman, so I really can't compare the quality. But I can say that this one I haven't experienced anything quite like. Oops.
As smooth, the floating on air.
Yeah, so I've got the Machine Wise Sonora, and that would have been the smoothest action I would say I've ever felt before until I felt this. And it's weird because I would have said the Sonora has no resistance to it. It feels like it's on air. Actually, I think I said that in the review. But then this Norseman is just different. It just hits different.
Right.
So, but that is going to be about all of my show and tell.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you hopping up and showing us some awesome knives.
For sure. Big shout out to Wyvern Kodiak. If you guys haven't had a chance to check them out, I'd highly recommend it. This entire collection, minus the Herman, is theirs. And they're pumping out some awesome knives. I think
you'll have to shoot a link in the chat, and we'll go look at it when you get back over there.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do that.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it once again.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
All right, no problem. All right, later. So yeah, guys, the Norseman is one of those knives where you just, I don't know, until you get one in hand and can look at it for a little while. But this Hilberg one is a pretty good representation as far as looking at his and looking at this one. Pretty close. The step milling on this one is great. This is my better one of the two that I've got. But of course, this one's not the two-tone cool pattern that his had. But the step milling on this one, Hilberg did such a nice job. The pivot, the action on this thing is not nearly as nice as his, though. Like I haven't taken this one apart and oiled it, but I have to just barely shake it. It doesn't want to just close. But like I said, that's the better version of the two that I've got. This one has got more of this has got a polished blade, and the blade, the lines on it look really nice. And then this other one has like a bead blasted blade, so it's not as shiny. And this one I need to redo. I need to bead blast this whole thing because this side is a little weird, but they're both Hilbergs. They both have the numbers and all that stuff. And it's two different milling patterns. But I never thought, yeah, TC, I saw there was a couple of, the guy was charging a little too much. There was a Synergy 2v2, but there might be a new one. I'll go check it real quick. Thank you, TC. This one has about the same action. But anyway, let me go check what TC just said. Did it just come up, TC, or is it one that's been there for like 2 or 3 days? Because I saw the one that was like 2 or 3 days ago. but let's go check it out. Oh, and I'll click that link in just a second, Sever. Let me, I don't think this will go. Let's see. Is it in here somewhere? I didn't see it listed, but I guess I could just type Synergy. One hour ago. Yeah, it's in this post somewhere. Synergy 2 taunt. Oh, that's a good price. Oh, it's got the Tiger Stripe. Yep, I can't do it. It's a good price though. The other one, let me show you the other one. The other one was 2 days ago. Oh no, that's the same guy. Hold on. Maybe it was the same guy and I just never even looked at it. I think he had a higher price 2 days ago. Yeah, $220. There was somebody had a 2v2. Hold on. 3 days ago. Yeah, this is the one I saw right here. So this guy was asking $250. And it was the one, yeah, it's the one with the carbon fiber inlay. So I didn't like it either. But yeah, this one popped up for $250 3 days ago. And then evidently this guy posted his for $220 and has now dropped it to what did it say? $198. Yeah, I don't like Tiger Stripe Anno anymore. I could bead blast it. I might need to shoot him an offer at like 160 or something and see if I can get it and bead blast it. That is a knife I want for sure. Tiger Flame. What are you asking for yours, Robin? Think I'm gonna shoot him a think I've dealt with this guy before on my main. Let me would you take 160 for the Wii Synergy? I am going to bead blast it because I don't like Tiger Flamed Anno. Thanks. I'm going to shoot him a message and just see what he says. Let me throw him a chat down here so he'll see it. That's a little of a low ball offer when he started at 220, but I'm going to go for it. Yeah, Robin does have all the cool toys. I totally agree. I want Robin to hop up on stream one day and show us some of his stuff. But I guess I take it for granted that some people just don't want to be on screen or don't want people to hear what they sound like, I guess. I could care less. But I totally get it. All right, now Sever sent a link. I didn't click. YouTube. Wyvern Kodiak. I'm going to subscribe. I've never heard of this channel. It must be a new one. 240 subscribers. Y'all go subscribe and we'll get them up to at least 250. Yeah, super cool. Sam and Chris, lifelong knife enthusiasts. with over 30 years experience have turned their passion into a venture in knife design and manufacturing. Nice. Let's go give their Instagram a follow as well. And here's their Instagram link for y'all to follow them. Grateful. Yeah, I didn't know he had that many voodoos. Doesn't surprise me, though. All right, well, guys, it has been another successful Tuesday talking about titanium stuff. So I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. I had to deal with a creep last night when I came into work. We have a young girl desk clerk that is Hispanic, and she's probably 19 or something, and she's super tiny, and you know, I guess, I mean, she's not like, well, I don't want to talk about my employees, but anyway, she's probably cute to a lot of people. And there was some kind of creep hanging out at the desk when I got there last night. And so I was back in the office, and I was watching him, and he just kept talking to her, and I couldn't figure out if she had just checked him in or something. I don't know, but I got bad vibes from dude. So come to find out, he had just been hanging out in there for like the last hour. We have a lobby computer the guests can use, and he was hanging out at the computer. And shortly after that, she ended up leaving, and he followed her to her car. And so I went outside. I saw him doing it. So I went out there and I yelled at dude. I was like, quit being a creep and following her to her car. And I thought I was going to have to pull this out on him. But I didn't have to. But there's another hotel next to us that is not so nice. And I think he probably strolled in from over there, but it was kind of weird situation. I mean, I'm glad, I try to look out for our female employees, like when they're walking to their car, because I know guys can be creepy. But she evidently texted somebody else about it, and I got a message this morning on my way home about thanking me for looking out for the women. And I said, no problem. I mean, creepy guys, I get it. I couldn't imagine. I'd be mad if somebody followed me to my car if I was, of course, that never happens. But anyway, enough of me rambling. Hope y'all have a great Tuesday. We will do it again tomorrow. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, I hope y'all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Oh, Sever 7's not on the screen, huh? I guess I should end it with some kind of thing on the screen.